In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and barren, and darkness covered the abyss while the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. And he called the light day, and he called the darkness night. This was the evening and the morning of the first day. God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters to separate one set of waters from the other." God separated the firmament from the waters, those waters that are under the firmament from those that are above the firmament. And it was so. God called the firmament the heavens. This was the evening and the morning of the second day. God said, "Let the waters that are under the heavens be gathered into one place, and let a dry place appear." And it was so. God called the dry place the land, and the gathered waters he called the sea. And God saw that it was good. God said, "Let the land bring forth plants, those that produce seeds, and fruit trees that have seeds inside of the fruit they bear, each according to its own kind." And it was so. The land brought forth plants, each according to its kind, and trees that have fruit with seeds inside of them, each according to its kind. God saw that they were good. This was the evening and the morning of the third day. God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to separate the day from the night. Let them be markers to separate seasons and days and years, and let them be lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light to the earth." And it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule over the day and the lesser light to rule over the night. And he also made the stars. God placed them in the firmament of the heavens to light the earth and to rule over the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. This was the evening and the morning of the fourth day. God said, "Let the waters be filled with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth in the firmament of the heavens." God created the great sea creatures and all the other creatures that fill the waters, each according to its kind, and all the birds that fly in the sky, each according to its kind. God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters of the sea, and let the birds multiply upon the earth." And this was the evening and the morning of the fifth day. God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures, each according to its kind, cattle and reptiles and wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. God made the savage beasts according to their kind, and the cattle according to their kind, and all of the reptiles according to their kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals and reptiles that crawl upon the earth." God created mankind in his image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. God blessed them and told them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the seas, and over the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I give you every plant that produces seeds upon the earth, and every tree that has fruit with its seed inside of it. These shall be your food. And I give all green plants to every wild animal, and to all the birds of the air, and to all creatures that move upon the surface of the earth, and that have the breath of life in them." And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. This was the evening and the morning of the sixth day. This is how the heavens and the earth and everything in them were made. God completed his work on the seventh day, and on the seventh day he rested from all of his work. God blessed the seventh day, and he consecrated it, for on it he rested from all the work he had done when he created all things. This was the origin of the heavens and the earth when they were first created. Origin of human beings. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, there were not yet any plants of the field, nor had any herbs sprouted in the field. For the Lord God had not yet made it rain upon the earth, and there was no one to till the soil. He made a mist rise out of the ground to water the whole surface of the earth. Then the Lord God formed man out of the dust of the earth, and he breathed his breath of life into his nostrils, and man became a living creature. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and he put the man he had formed there. The Lord God made all sorts of beautiful and nourishing trees sprout out of the earth, among which was the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden. Then it divided into 4 tributaries. The first river was called the Pishon. It waters the whole land of Havilah, where one can find gold, and the gold of that land is good. One can also find bdellium and onyx in that land. The second river is the Gihon. It flows in the land of Ethiopia. The third river is the Tigris. It flows to the east of the land of Ashur. The fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and placed him in the Garden of Eden so that he might work it and care for it. The Lord God told the man, "You can eat of any of the trees in the garden, but you must never eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you were to eat from it, you would surely die." And the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I wish to make another creature who will be like him." The Lord God therefore formed every sort of wild animal and all the birds of the air, and he brought them before the man to see what he would name them. Whatever the man called each living creature, that was the name that it would bear. The man gave names to every type of animal, all the birds of the air and all the wild animals, but the man could not find anything that was like him. The Lord God therefore caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. He took one of his ribs and replaced it with flesh. The Lord God then formed a woman out of the rib that he had taken from the man. He brought her before the man. The man said, "This one is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken from man. This is why a man leaves his father and his mother and joins with a wife, and the two become one flesh." Now the man and the woman were naked, but they did not feel any shame. The serpent was the most clever of all the wild animals that the Lord God had made. It said to the woman, "Is it true that God told you not to eat of any of the trees in the garden?" The woman answered the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but as for the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden, God said that we must not eat it, nor even touch it, lest we die." But the serpent said to the woman, "Certainly you shall not die. God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will become like God, knowing that which is good and that which is evil." The woman saw that the tree was good for food and pleasing to look at, and desirable for imparting wisdom. She took some fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he also ate it. Their eyes were opened, and they realized that they were naked. They took fig leaves and sewed them together, making themselves a covering. They then heard the Lord God walking in the garden toward the evening. The man and his wife hid themselves from the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called out to the man and said to him, "Where were you?" He answered, "I heard you walking in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself." He said, "Who let you know that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree from which I commanded you not to eat?" The man answered, "The woman whom you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." The Lord God said to the woman, "What have you done?" The woman answered, "The serpent tricked me, and I ate it." The Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you will be the most cursed of all the animals and of all the wild beasts. On your belly you shall crawl, and you shall eat dust for all the days of your life. I will establish hostility between you and the woman, between your line and her line. Her offspring will crush your head, and you will bruise his heel." To the woman he said, "I will multiply your sufferings in childbirth. With pain you shall bear your children. You shall desire your husband, but he shall lord it over you." To the man he said, "Because you listened to the voice of your wife, and you ate from the tree from which I had commanded you not to eat. Cursed be the soil because of you. With effort you shall obtain food all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth for you, and you shall eat of the plants of the field. You shall have to sweat to eat your bread until the day when you return to the earth, for from it you were drawn. You are dust, and unto dust you shall return." The man called his wife Eve, for she was the mother of all those who lived. The Lord God made clothing for the man and woman out of animal skins, and he clothed them. The Lord God said, "Behold, man has become like one of us, for he has knowledge of that which is good and that which is evil. Now we must prevent him from reaching out and taking the fruit of the tree of life, lest he eat it and live forever." The Lord God cast him out of the Garden of Eden. Henceforth he was to labor tilling the soil from which he had come. When he expelled him, he placed cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden with flaming swords to keep watch over the way to the tree of life.